Hello everybody, it's your favorite certified creature thing, and today I'm genuinely just going to be yapping about anything that comes to mind regarding the furry fandom, because I owe you guys a long form video since I haven't written out a script in like a week? 2 weeks? Maybe 3? I don't know, it's been a while. I'm a natural born yapper, so I think it's kind of a given that I would, I don't know, at some point make a video where I just talk about anything that comes to mind, because as somebody with ADHD, I constantly have stuff on my mind. Oh, it hurts. Okay, first topic is that I think it's really weird when people say that they're coming out as a furry. I don't understand why somebody would say that they're coming out, because I know that there's a lot of scrutiny and a lot of just distaste for the fandom in general, but I don't understand pretending like you're a part of a marginalized community in the way that you were born, like, bearing a damn costume. The term coming out should be exclusively for queer people. As a queer furry, I'm sure that there's queer furries that have said that they came out as a furry, but I think it's really weird and it just sets me off. I really don't think it's the same thing as coming out as gay to like a homophobic family. I don't know, like I'm thinking about it and it's just so funny to me because how would that even go? Like, do you go up to your parents and you just go,
Guys, my fursona is called Sparklington, and he's a hybrid of a dragon, an angel, a demon, and a fox.
because at the end of the day, you can take off the costume and you can be just fine, but it's not the case with actual marginalized groups who have to deal with being born that way and then being seen as, I don't know, less than? I mean, I endured a lot of hatred in school for being a furry. I think I joined the fandom in 2018, so I've had a lot of time to process how people treat you when you're open about it. I've also been queer in school, and let me just say that the effects of being a furry versus being queer in school are vastly different. I mean, one had people laughing at me, making fun of me, avoiding me, and the other one had people, I don't know, coming into a group to try and jump me. Clearly I have a bit of an inside perspective, but anyways, I'm just gonna move on from that conversation because I feel like I said all that I can say. I think it's out of touch, I think it's a little bit obscure. It makes me recoil a little bit every time I hear it. This next one is a very passionate topic of mine, and I wanted to make an entire video about it, but I felt a little bit intimidated because I know how people can be. It really bothers me when there's people in the fandom who flex being more normal than the rest of the fandom. I'm not going to name names for obvious reasons, I don't do that here, but I do think it's really weird and like sends the wrong signals considering that a lot of us have mental disorders that we can't control, behavioral difficulties, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I'm just trying to scroll through my feed, have a wonderful time, look at whimsical fursuits, see all these beautiful designs, and then I see a video with a caption that's like,
I'm not like you guys. I'm stable, I'm straight, and I'm not one of them pronouners.
okay, like thank you, I don't really know what you're trying to get from that, like, they're not going to pick you? The thing is, they will always dislike you no matter what you go by. Being a furry is enough for people to just be put off by you no matter how normal you act. Genuinely, people who are close-minded and bigoted will not care. They're just gonna see, oh, furry! Oh my gosh! I genuinely think that some furries like to act like high school bullies just because it's the only sense of gratification that they get because they didn't have that type of life, and now that they have a big community with a bunch of people who they view themselves to be more normal, I really think that a lot of those people are suffering really deeply inside of themselves. I really don't see any other reason why somebody would flex their normalcy in a group of, I don't know, odd people, unless they really wanted just validation from those who they've never gotten it from before. I think that I made like a 15-second TikTok one time about how it really irks me and it bothers me deeply when people do that, and then there was like people in the comments that were like,
I'm not like you freaks.
buddy, I don't understand this hierarchy mentality, and I think that it's just human nature to try and be better than other people, but it's just so weird. It makes me embarrassed, and I'm supposedly supposed to be the one who's embarrassed about my cringiness. I think it's arguably more cringe to try and pretend that you're not cringe than to just be cringe. I know that doesn't sound right. I'm really tired. I think I'm running on like 7 hours of sleep, which isn't awful, but my sleep schedule has genuinely been like horrific. So I'm kind of in a jumble right now in my brain. Always in a jumble, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, moving on to the next topic, because I have to think of more things. I genuinely don't understand why it's just so common in this fandom for people to always assume that everything is about them. And this is coming from somebody who has, like, trouble being paranoid. I don't mean to be one of those people, but I genuinely feel that this fandom is so sensitive to every single thing that you say. You could literally say, hey, yeah, I prefer cats over dogs. Somebody would be like, oh, so basically you hate me, you hate my life, you hate my children, you hate my mom. Hey, so there's a thing called an opinion? And if it's not directly hurting you, I don't understand what the issue is. You can't make a video about anything specific without somebody in the comments, specifically from the furry fandom I noticed, who are like, guys, what about me? Alright, that one was a shorter segment, and now we're gonna move on to the next one because I have another idea. Now this one might be a hot take, but I think it's really weird when I see furries who say that they don't like therians. And I know that, give me 1 second, okay? I don't think that a lot of people understand that it's an identification and sometimes a spiritual thing, because I just don't understand disliking somebody for how they identify. But I mean, we live in a world of that, so nah. Even vice versa as well, because I had a therian comment on one of my videos saying,
No furries. Therian best.
for some reason, there are some people who genuinely believe that the two cannot overlap as a label, like furries cannot be therians. But the thing is, if you just search up the definitions of the two, you can see that they're very different, and I even made a video about it differentiating the differences between furries and therians, because people tend to dumb down anything with animal features or anybody who dresses in any type of animal, I don't know, gear, as
Oh, furry! Oh my gosh!
literally, I have another account where I post my face and I'll wear like dog ears and a tail, or like fox ears and a tail, mostly fox ears. And then there'll be people who are like,
There's not a difference between a furry and whatever this is. Why are you saying that?
a furry is an anthropomorphic animal that's standing on 2 legs, talking, like a full-blown animal. A human with ears and a tail is not the same thing as a furry, and I feel like it's very, like, straightforward, but I don't think that a lot of people are willing to even acknowledge that. I think that, like I said, people will see anything that they deem to be furry and be like, oh no, oh, get it out of my vicinity. That was even shorter of a segment, but I'm going to go on to the next topic, and that is paper fursuits. Paper fursuits have been such a controversial thing. It just really makes me sad because there's this notion that, oh my gosh, if you wear it for like 2 seconds each day, you're going to just explode, the thing is going to mold, you're going to die. Regular fursuits can mold if they're not taken care of the right way. I think that ever since the whole cardboard fursuit thing came out, everybody's just been really inclined to just, I don't know, attack people for having a paper or cardboard fursuit. I'm not denying that it can be dangerous, but I genuinely think that a lot of people are just really overreacting when it comes to it. 2019 was when I really wanted to get into the whole fursuiting thing, and it was one of my first creations. I don't think that a lot of people understand that it's a lot of kids and a lot of people who just cannot afford to have the materials to make a proper fursuit. I'm using the word proper loosely because there's no proper way to make a fursuit. Even Jester and my branding of fursuits, they're made to be affordable. They're made to be more made up of fleece than faux fur, and that makes the cost go down a lot. And it's a lot less labor in general. I've genuinely seen people who have not had concerns about the safety and have just been elitists. Like, oh, look at this paper fursuit, or the whole dino mask thing. I just think that people want to be mean sometimes deliberately, and it's just, we pride ourselves on being a very accepting and supportive fandom, and then we turn around and we're mean to little kids. So it's like, come on, we need to pick a side. Are we trying to get people to like us for being nice people, or are we trying to get people to dislike us because we're mean? Obviously, there's always going to be a bad apple in the bunch, but I don't know. My next point is, and just to let you know, this is not going to be like NSFW necessarily, but it's going to be more mature in, I don't know, topic. I feel like a lot of furries only have one joke, and it's being NSFW. Let me just say, I'm not trying to be all Puritan, and I'm not trying to say, oh my gosh, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm just trying to say that it gets old very quickly. People from the outside looking in are seeing this, and it's just one of the reasons why this fandom has so much scrutiny behind it. I mean, it's no wonder that there's an entire debate whether minors should be in the furry fandom when literally there's this entire circle of people who are just like,
haha, fox horny, blah blah.
There are spaces and there is a time and place where you can do all of that, and I just think it's really uncomfortable when I'm trying to make a nice video and then somebody has to make a weird joke and just be like, haha, like, wow, I love when I'm making wholesome content and people ask me if I have an OnlyFans. You can't even dance in peace in this fandom. Another thing that I think of is people who thrive off of drama and creating drama and making there be an issue in like every single turn. It kind of circles back to the point where everybody's kind of self-centered in the way that they think that everything is about them or like everything is against them. It saddens me that people have left the fandom because they could not handle the drama that was going on, because honestly, it really is insufferable, and you just want to see really beautiful designs, very beautiful suits. You want to meet people who are potentially friends with you, and then you end up getting into a situation where it's just constant negativity around you. And when we're in a fandom full of creation, you would think that it would be joy and happiness and, I don't know, like unity, because that's kind of what this fandom is supposed to be about. But then people completely miss the mark and they find it as just their little community to harbor hatred. That's why, as much as I want to be opinionated, I don't bring people's names into things. I don't mention my past situations. I don't mention people that I've had problems with in the past anymore. I don't put myself together the way that people should when they're dealing with conflict. And I feel like if I were to spread that on the internet, it would be very, very uncomfortable. Contrary to popular belief, I can be very blunt and mean when I genuinely believe something. I'm not trying to be an a-hole deliberately, but even so, I still try to back off so that I can avoid situations like that, even if they are accidents. That's why I really like to spread positivity in the way that I know that it sounds corny, but I like to just give people inspiration to move on with their day, tell them that they're doing well, tell them that I'm proud. You know, maybe if they can't find that somewhere else, they can find it in me. As much as I don't really enjoy the prospect of idolization in the way that you want to follow every single footstep of mine, I adore when people are inspired by me and they feel happy and they feel brightened by me. That is my entire life goal. I want people to remember me for my art and the happiness that I gave people. I want people to take inspiration from me, take inspiration from my characters. I want people to be them because of me. I know that it sounds corny, but I really just want people to be themselves. That is really what I aim and strive to spread to people. And that's why I think that drama in this fandom is just really saddening to see, because there's a difference between drama and general crimes that happen in the fandom, which unfortunately we have a lot of that going on. But that about wraps up the video because I'm getting so tired. Because of how sleepy I am, my brain is actually calming down for once. So I should probably be getting to bed now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked me yapping, let me know, and I'd love to make another video one of these days. And remember friends, be cringe, be free, and always remember that you have a home here with me. Bye everybody!